catches, puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound Bosh. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining.
Oh yeah. We packing somebody up tonight. Hey. Come on in, take your shoes off before we close the door. Few rules, heat pack in the air, we about to blow. This the basement, ain't nobody safe, you already know. Grab a seat and kick your feet before you get too comfortable. You want the X's and the O's, the trade, yes and no. Friends and the foes, the butlers and the heroes. You can feel it in your soul, when the ring is the goal. But if somebody need to go, we be sure to let you know. Going hard for my dogs is an everyday thing. Like Jimmy down the lane of 13 off the screen. Whole squad keep it tucked like number 17. Bring your takes and your memes, going hard for the team. Going down in the basement. It's going down in the basement. Get your takes off. Get your takes off. Going down in the basement.
Welcome to the Basement Postgame Show. I am your host, Alex Sheltman, filling in again for our boy Royal, who is taking a wonderful, long, extended vacation. Tonight, I am joined by the girl, Jess. Jess, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
Short and simple. I like it. Up top, we got the two Kangs, Kendall and TJ. Kendall, how you doing tonight, baby?
I'm doing good, bro. I can't complain. It's Friday. You feel me?
Absolutely. And TJ, finish us out here. Doing good still?
Yes, sir. We thriving. The Orlando Magic played good and the Heat won, so we take both of them.
Hey, I know you're on that disgusting Orlando Magic agenda, but, hey, they got some hoopers on that team, and they kind of showed us tonight. We only won by 5. It was another dogfight against another tanking team. I don't really know where to go with this. It seems like it's consistently just the same game in and out. I'm going to start with TJ. We'll go right back to you. Give me your thoughts on the game.
The game was cool, man. Jimmy and Bam got no help for a majority of the game in the fourth quarter. Well, the end of the third quarter into the fourth quarter, you saw them getting a little bit of help. Strus was there doing things. Tyler started doing things. Seven was out there. I'm sure we're going to discuss him. But somehow Jimmy stumbled into 29 points. It didn't feel like it. Until you looked at the end of the game and it was like, oh, he got 29, and then Bam was getting his game going, had 20 on the night. So it's good for what you wanted to see. You want your stars to be stars, but if you want these role players, to role play, and you want Tyler Herro to be Tyler Herro, you ain't been seeing that. So disappointing on that front.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kendall's name kind of alludes to what we're going to be getting to a little bit here. Get 22 and 13 some help. Jess, we'll go to you next. I'm going to let you get off your agenda here, but know that Haywood Highsmith only had 6 minutes tonight, so you will not be speaking on that man. Go ahead. How do you feel about the game tonight?
I feel that it should not have been that close. I honestly thought Highsmith had kind of earned some more minutes after last game, but I guess I was wrong, but that's okay. That's all I'm going to say. Also alluding to Kendall, I mean, I watch these games and I'm like, we are one. I'm not talking about sitting out one game. I'm like, we're one like middle of the road, like injury to Bam or Jimmy from like just completely imploding because we have, I mean, like this close, like a sprained ankle from like the season's over, even out for a few weeks. And we just won't even be able to win like a handful of games. So it's tough to watch. I mean, they have no help. We can't rely on anybody to be consistent outside the two of them. And that's a scary position to be in. I'm sure we'll get to individual players. I thought Caleb really gave us some help tonight, but and Max, other than that, I mean, it was pretty rough. And yeah, the two of them are out there alone. And so when they have a bad game or one of them's out, we're just in a very bad position.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that is spot on. We are one extended injury away from Jimmy or Bam before this shit falls apart. Kendall, how you feeling tonight? How was some thoughts on the game? Anything you want to go in on?
I mean, like Jess said, yes. And I mean, my man over here who was like pulling up, thanks for the support, but just with the hate, like my G, relax, bro. Like, where was the Orlando Magic? Like, you always want to see your team win? Yeah, sure. But bro, like, it's major issues out here. You feel me? Like, it sucks. Like, it just seems like this team has like two black holes, one where it's 55, one where it's 7. Like, the amount of money that they make that's tied up into those players in which they don't contribute very much, if anything. Like, bro, like, it's saddening and it sounds like a funeral, motherfucker, because you see how good Bam and Jimmy are playing. Like, they literally combined for 28 in the first half with 17% shooting from 3. So they were still able to be effective individually, even though they was throwing up bricks. Like, they trying to build a crib or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it sucks. Gabe Vincent had him a little stretch, and then, they finally got some help. Vincent had a stretch in the third. Max had a little run in the beginning, and then Caleb had some attack getting downhill. So it's cool to see, but it just, like, for me, bro, I got a standard, and I really don't care how people feel about it. Fuck them. Like, if you like get upset about it, but it's just like, bro, like, I'm watching two players, like, literally dominate the game at times, and there are these empty pockets in which, like, can't anybody do anything else. Like, Tyler Herro, bro, like, at some point, I know man came back from injury, but dog, like, let's keep it really real. Like, the most thrilling thing about this is that our stars perform like stars, and then the Papa John's pizza is 50% off tomorrow. But let's just keep it 100. You feel me? Like, bro, how you struggling against the Orlando Magic, bro? Offensively, like, I understand defensively because they got some players that's long, quick, and they can. But yeah, like, Tyler, bro, like, I need more. Like, hey, man, I got more, but I'm gonna just buy.
I mean, I feel you, man. It's tough, and I know people are, wanting to find positives in the wins and shit, but, like, these are teams we should be beaten by 10, 15 points easily, and we can barely scrape by, a 5-point win. I think I said last stream we were going to win by 6. We won by 5. Like, that's what this team is. Like, we're scraping out wins versus these absolute dog shit tanking teams. We're joined a little bit late by our guy LJ. LJ, how you doing? Give us some thoughts on the game, buddy.
I came here to talk about one man and one man only, and I'll save it. You all know what jersey number he wears, and he doesn't play in the fourth quarter despite making $30 million. I'll talk about him later when we get to him. I don't want to steal the spotlight because I have some choice words for that fat-ass fuck, but we'll get to it. They did what they had to do. I mean, there is something to be said about a team that can legitimately pull out wins in close games. They're going to make the playoffs because the East is horrible. They're going to, whether that be playing, whether that be they hold on to a 6 seed or above. Brooklyn's falling apart without KD. Cleveland is kind of having their rough patch too. I don't think a lot of people are talking enough about how Cleveland started the season insane, and now they're kind of coming down to earth. So I think it's interesting to see on that front whether or not Miami can actually leapfrog them. But overall, again, there is something to be said about a team that can consistently pull out close wins. You're going to need that in the playoffs when those eventually happen, because this team, as currently built, is not winning a playoff game by more than 10 points. It is staying single digits, and you better enjoy it because that's what you signed up for. That's what you're going to get with this roster.
No, absolutely, and we hit on a bunch of those talking points a little bit. We will get to that certain someone you are referencing. I did want to come back to this. The Magic are probably the best worst team. We might be the worst best team, so just keep that in mind. At this point, we are struggling for that 6th seed, and if we get into that 6th seed, you better get on your knees and start praying, because one of the Celtics, Bucks, or Sixers or Nets is going to be in that 3 seed for round 1, and it's going to be tough. We'll start off positive tonight. I'm going to go right back to TJ. Jimmy had a pretty solid game. He started off a little bit slow, turned it up a little bit, turned it back down a little bit, but then turned it up late. He almost had I think it was 29, 6-6, so almost a 36-6 game. How do you feel about his game overall? Talk about that a little bit.
I feel real good about Jimmy, man. Jimmy's going to do Jimmy things, It don't matter who he going up against. They got everybody like 6'10" and above. I think their average height on their team is 6'7". And it don't matter who was guarding him. Jimmy was still getting to his spots. Was still getting to the free throw line. He was eating, man. I think he shot 10 of 17. Like, it's a real easy night for Jimmy Butler, and that's what you want to see. He had struggled against length. Thank you. He has struggled against length, but he's going up against these tall teams, these big dudes. Herro was having trouble with him. Yeah, he's a rookie, but he was still having trouble. Like, it's what you want to see from Jimmy, especially going against this long team. Pause.
Had to get that in there. But no, I agree. I mean, Jimmy is not, the tallest dude, but he is sort of a battler down low. He was able to get to his spots, like you said. So doing that against a more lengthy team is, something to take note of. Shout out to JGB Respect with the $4.99 dono. I wonder if Coach Spo has anxiety just trying to find the offensive threat on this team and also trying to find a consistent shooter. I mean, this team has no consistent shooters. We were first in the league in 3-point shooting last year. We are now 28th in the league. The only teams worse than us are the Rockets and the Hornets, the two worst teams in the league. So we don't have a consistent shooter. Our consistent shooter is like one dude maybe for one night every other game. We'll keep the Jimmy discussion going. Let's go back over to Jess. Jess, give me your thoughts on Jimmy's game tonight.
I thought Jimmy was super solid. I did think they were kind of quiet 29 points, but I guess it's just, when you have no one else scoring or doing anything, like you don't realize like those free throws and those buckets are just like coming from Jimmy continuously. And so, a lot like Bam, I think that I don't worry about him in the sense that he can turn it on whenever he wants. The problem is like when you do have an off game, it's like who's going to pick up the slack? And so, it's tough to watch guys like Herro or guys that you kind of feel like you can rely on sometimes and not really have games like this where you're just like, if he didn't do that, it's an L 100%, and we have to have this guy dropping almost 30 points for this to be a game, which is unfortunate. And I don't mean to be so negative. Like he had a great game. Like I said, I think he had 29, 6 and 6, or he was doing more than, just scoring. And he definitely was a big part of this win along with Bam. So, we're lucky to have him. And he's really the only reason, again, that we could, be in this game, because if not, it would have been an L against the Magic. So.
Yeah, I'm also genuinely impressed to hear 1.5 wins from the 5th seed. They might be 1.5 wins from the 10th seed. I don't know. I have to look at the standings. I'm going to go over to Kendall here. Kendall, do you agree? Does this feel like a quiet 29-point game from Jimmy? Or, it felt like he was stuck on 22 points for a while there, and he just kind of like turned it up late, got fouled a little bit, maybe a couple garbage time free throws. What do you think?
Absolutely not. That was a pretty loud 29 because it was a struggle for everybody else, bro. Like just seeing that's like talking about the pockets. Like when you have empty pockets in a game where the offense is not clicking, like, and nobody else is doing something, like for me, at least, I just think back, damn, Jimmy got 18 at the half. Bam got 10 at the half. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we are down. And then the defense is ass. So you're like, we are down and we're giving points up. So this isn't good. We shot 17%. So the 29 for me was very loud. It spoke volumes. Like, because without it, we don't win. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't average 21 or 22, whatever. What does he average for the season? 22?
21.4, I think. He's so under Bam now. Bam's the leading scorer.
I don't think so we won by 5, so he couldn't have 23.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So because there was no Lowry there. Like if he would have had 23 and Lowry play like that, L. Tyler play like this, L. So it's just like them boys need to step up, bro. Like if they gonna be here, like which it looks like they will. Honestly, I just can't wait to talk about Kyle. Can we talk about Kyle Lowry?
We'll go to LJ next for last Jimmy comments, and then we'll go to Kyle. LJ, give me your thoughts on Jimmy. Do you feel like did you feel like he was getting at least involved with Bam on the offense? That was the one thing I was looking for particularly.
I think so. Yeah, I think he was. I like what I saw from Jimmy. Kendall's right too. It was marginally speaking, when you think about like someone nearly dropping 30, you think it's going to be a little more explosive. With Jimmy tonight, it really wasn't, but it also was at the same time, to play devil's advocate a little bit, because you look at it, no one else did dick except for Bam. So it's like it stands out a lot more. But yeah, I did like seeing Jimmy actually look for Bam more often too. I think Jimmy being out the last game too, to let Bam kind of shine, kind of like reinvigorated into his brain a little bit, to be like, hey, maybe get this guy the ball a little bit. So seeing the looks increase was also nice. Someone else on the team that's supposed to be doing that too didn't play in the fourth quarter again, and I'm going to keep bringing it up because I know he's next on the chopping block. And I'm going to save it. I'll let y'all get y'all kicks in with Kyle, and then I'll get mine.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you stew for a little bit. We're gonna talk about the Whopper man himself. Just another absolutely abysmal performance. I don't know how the wonderful folks around me are coming up with continued content to discuss this man, because at this point it feels like everyone's a stand-up comic and they got to come up with new material every night, because this dude is just ass every night. Every single night he is just laying a huge egg on the court. He didn't play a single fourth quarter minute tonight. Jess, give me any thoughts on Kyle Lowry, and if they are positive, you might get kicked out of the stream.
Okay, I'm gonna make mine short and sweet. I have this one takeaway. So I'm listening and watching the game, and Jimmy has this great dunk, and I hear him say, well, great dunk by Jimmy, but if it wasn't for that great outlet pass from Lowry, like that wouldn't have even happened. And I'm here and I'm like, these guys are trying so hard to be nice that he does the bare minimum. This man is the point guard on our team. Literally, you play basketball, and as the guard, you're like, get it to the point guard and push it down the court. That is the bare minimum, requirement of your job. And that's what they have to talk about, because what else are you going to say about 6 points in 25 minutes? I don't know. I don't know what we can say anymore. As much as everyone that watches us thinks we're so negative, it's I don't want to hate him. I wish he was good. I genuinely wish he was good. It's not fun for us to watch him play basketball or to pay him that amount of money. It's painful. None of us are preying on his downfall. It sucks. And he just maybe some of us have different agendas, but I mean, you just watch this and there's no excuse. You can't make excuses for him. It's just bad. It's bad.
Yeah, I mean, some of us may be preying on his downfall. TJ might have alluded to that. TJ, you want to talk about that a little bit?
I'll be brief. He is the leader of the horrible hoops regime. He's awful. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you all hope, because in 13 days, folks, in 13 days, the trade deadline will be here. And D-Lo is on the way. That is the only hope that I have, because I cannot take this any longer. Jess, you're absolutely right. The way they be dick-eating Kyle Lowry on this program, bruh, they will say anything to get some gas on this man. What an outlet pass. He's just a Grizzly veteran. I love the way he sets up the boy does nothing out there. It's strictly vibes. And it ain't even that no more. He is not seeing fourth quarter minutes. Spo is finally starting to understand that this man is awful. It started with Dewayne Dedmon. I'm loving the growth we're seeing out of Spo. But, brother, something needs to be done. I can't take it anymore. There is no way that this team can move forward with number 7 still on the roster, because it's getting worse. Not only is he bad, but he's bad and he can't play in the fourth quarter. It's getting out of hand, ladies and gentlemen. Something needs to be done.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't even get the 3 possessions of Kyle Lowry goodness tonight. So I know, some other people want to talk about that on the TL, and that'll completely flip 10 game stretch of ass. But, we didn't even get that tonight. So I'm going to go to the 2 guys to my left. I know they're stewing. They're ready to go. They've been harboring some of this for a little bit. We'll start with Kendall. Kendall, talk about 7 for me.
Bruh. Welcome, Jess, to the basement. Fam, what she said, that shit had stuck with me literally the whole game. The fact that Erik had the unmitigated gall, the audacity to think he finna hoodwink and bamboozle fans who've been watching this franchise for over 20 years, bro. He threw a full court pass. He pressed the A button. We could have did it. If we were in that position on the court with the ball in our hand, we could have threw that pass full court to Jimmy Butler. My G. Do something else, nigga. It's crazy at this point. And I don't like D-Lo as a player. Bruh. If it means that he gets to go, then albeit, do it. I can't do it no more, bro. He just be there. Like, he took a three. He passed up so many, like at least 3 open threes. And it's just like, bro, you gotta shoot, bro. Like, and then he finally shot one in the third, and I don't know what happened to him after that. He disappeared. That man is so ass, bro. And like, I ain't even here to like go in on him, like really like that. Like, it's I feel like I got smoke for somebody else. That smoke coming for somebody else. But Kyle Lowry, bro, he's so bad, bro. Like, stop defending this, y'all. Like, if you're on the timeline defending Kyle Lowry, you're shameless. And you don't know ball. Like, if you legitimately like think he's good for the team right now, you don't know ball. You don't know ball. You must only know snacks. Word to LeVar Ball. You must only know snacks on some Jason Whitlock shit. Cause ain't no way that this man is an NBA basketball player. Not no more. He's not a productive one. Not no more. I'm done, man.
Hey, you mentioned it. He didn't take that 1-3 in the third. You never saw him again. That's because Spo's learning. He didn't play a second of the fourth. We'll take that. He might have cost the game if he did. So LJ came into this stream, I think, really for one reason and one reason only. I allowed him the graceness to go last here. LJ, get your shit off on Kyle.
All right. So anyone who knows me knows that I'm a huge fan of Alexis Texas. Like Mount Rushmore, Alexis Texas. But I'm really fucking tired of seeing her wear the number 7 jersey for the Miami Heat. I am tired of it. I'm an ass man. Through and through. My wife will tell you. I'm an ass man. I'm looking right in the camera. But I've had enough of watching that ass wear my favorite basketball team's jersey. It is decrepit. It is nauseating. I can't describe the illness, the sickness, the stomach wrenching that I feel on a night-to-night basis when I see him try to gas it up. I can't do it. Mario motherfucking Chalmers could go out there as a fourth option. We saw that man do it the whole Big Three era, and he could put up more than 6 points a game. You take away, I'm gonna be a jabroni and cherry pick a little bit. You take away that one 17-point game that he recently had, or 15, whatever the hell it was. I know we will remember because it was over 10 points. You take that outlier out. You take that outlier out. When was the last time he could give you 10 points? It ain't recent. I am tired of watching Norbert's fucking wife play point guard for our team. I'm tired of it. I've had enough. I'm vomiting every time I see him take the court. I can't do it. I'm done.
Oh my goodness. That was cathartic. I appreciate that. Norbert's fucking wife. My God. We're gonna pivot here. We'll go away from
Whopper. He's a motherfucking flopper. Big old booty muffin topper who's overpaid. Large fries, milkshake, extra whipped cream. Please hold the cherry, cause that's too healthy. Play real D, don't blame the referee. All you do is complain. Pat Riley, wake up today. Lowry, please let us trade. Fuck you!
Oh my goodness. That is perfection. That is art. That is a masterpiece. And everything that Kyle Lowry isn't, unfortunately. We're going to pivot to something more positive tonight. And part of the reason that,
get the shit out, bro.
You want to get all the shit out first?
We got to get the shit out first.
All right, let's get this shit out first. We'll save the positive for last. We'll go there later. We'll get this shit out. We got to talk about someone very near and dear to TJ's heart here. Is employee 14 back, TJ? How do you feel about that, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, his name has been removed from our books. Employee 14 is returning, ladies and gentlemen. The jumper is so short, it's not even funny, dog. He has no legs. The floaters are short. The boy's layups are short. Can't get to the rim to save his life. Can't beat nobody off the dribble. He's awful, dog. He's awful, bro. And I can't take. I'm on the program.
It sounds like we have an employee 14 fan in the background there. He's upset that it is what it is.
Off as well.
Jess, talk to me about Tyler, because I kind of agree with TJ here. Ever since that little slip he had that one game, and the Achilles, injury, whatever the fuck they were calling it, it feels like his shot has just been very short every time. Does he have the lift? What do you think about that?
I think you guys are absolutely it doesn't even look like I don't even know if he's tried to change it or he's just hurt. He's not putting his legs into it. I can't really figure out what it is. I mean, I'm sure he's not sleeping a lot, and I'm inclined to want to cut him some slack, but also I'm not sure what's going on. He's not looking like someone, not that he was always someone that you can count on consistently, but he was fairly consistent. I want to say I was never the first one slandering him. I did when he deserved it, but I felt a lot of times like that was our third option that we needed in a lot of games. And so he's looking off. I'm not sure what it is, but hopefully he can get back in the swing of things. But his jump shot looks strange to me. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I'm gonna let LJ go here. LJ, Tyler Herro last few games, 0 of 3, 1 of 7, 4 of 10, 0 of 2, 0 of 7, 1 of 8 from 3. Is there something maybe he should be sitting out here for, or do you think maybe his shot's just not there? What do you think?
I think he needs to hit the legs in the gym. That's what I think. He's got to hit the squat rack. He's straight up. I mean, he's literally like Hasbulla out there, little short ass, just trying to chuck it up. It's not working. I don't know what he needs to do. I really don't. Shoot or shoot. I get it, and that's what he's supposed to be doing. And for Tyler Herro, I mean, the way to get out of the slump is just him to keep on just knocking that shit. Just keep on going, and eventually it'll go in, I guess, right? The law of averages and whatnot. We saw it with Max Strus. It was like he was ass for a long time, and now he's suddenly starting to hit some shots again. So it's way worse because of the contract, and I know the extension money hasn't kicked in until next season, but I really don't know what else to do for Tyler. I don't know my expectations are so low, and I'm white. I like Tyler. But I've had enough too. At the same time, it's like, bro, you enough is enough. Hold yourself accountable. You got the contract, and now he can't beat anybody off the dribble. He's having a really hard time getting to the rim. That's why what Caleb Martin did tonight was so important too. Mainly in the fourth quarter, is just some transitional offense, being able to get and generate some looks at the rim. Vic usually does that, and Vic has been pretty bad, or at least tonight was really bad for doing that. So Tyler needs to do something, because I saw numbers in the timeline too earlier in the season. He was going at the rim at a pretty good pace. He was getting some shots there, making it easier for his jump shots to be more open too, but just by applying rim pressure. But ever since that's kind of gone away, people have been keying in more on the jump shots too. And that's kind of why you're also seeing the numbers go down too, is people aren't really afraid of him beating them off the dribble. So maybe just take a break from a game or two on jump shots and try to just push it, force the issue at the rim, and it might work. Other than that, I'm not a coach. I don't know what else you could do, because if you try that and that's not working, then at some point your minutes are being detrimental, kind of like Kyle in the fourth quarter too. So the leash is long for whatever reason with Kyle, or not with Kyle, with Tyler. But at some point, I mean, the dude has to start hitting shots. You play a game of basketball where you get paid, him specifically, to put the ball in the hoop, and he's not doing it. The dude had 8 points before he hit 2 free throws at the end. 2 big free throws, admittedly. But to get him to 10, so whole game, single-digit outcome. Dude was giving you single-digit output in the points department, and that's not good enough. It's just not.
No, I think you're spot on there. TJ hit us with a stat in the back. He's shooting 28% on threes in the month of January. That's a stretch of games. That's 12 games to this point. So clearly there's something going on there. I don't know if it's mechanics. I don't know if it's the injury. I don't know what it is. But clearly there's something not going on there that's not working. But the one thing I wanted to touch on was I saw a stat the other day. He's second in field goal percentage on floaters in the entire league. Number 1 is Jokic. Number 2 is Tyler Herro. And I feel like he just kind of went away from that. I don't know why he did. I feel like that's one of the few moves in his bag that, he has. And when he's not hitting these threes and hitting knockdown shots consistently, I would like to see him get into the pick and roll more with Bam and make Bam have more actions in that, specific action. So I think this is the guy that Kendall's been waiting to cook into a little bit. So Kendall, go ahead, get your shit off on Tyler.
I mean, come on now. 2023 Bob Sura. 2023 Andres Nocioni. 2023 Kurt Harden. 2022 Luke Rittenhauer in the playoffs. 2022 Downtown Miami-Dade campus Doug McDermott head ass boy. I have not seen a leap of any kind. I haven't seen anything mastered, anything go to. And I say this all to point out the simple fact. This man said he wanted to be in a conversation with them guys. He's supposed to be a bucket. And yet, he has 5 games in which he did not score 10 points so far this season. Bam Adebayo, who's not a scorer, has 0. Bam does not shoot threes. Yet he averages more points than Tyler Herro. Take that. You need to dial him back. It's just that time. Dial him back. Spo, you got to dial him back. He has to play as a spot-up shooter more. Stop putting the ball in his hand all the time. To create. He can't create. He had problems trying to get around Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner is averaging more points than Tyler Herro. He's shooting at least, I think he's shooting 49% from the field this year on a tanking team. He looks better than Tyler Herro. Unacceptable. And in words of my nigga Threat, he said some shit that I felt in my soul the other day about Tyler Herro. I feel disappointed.
The fuck up.
I'm hurt when I watch NBA basketball and Tyler Herro is not the best white player on the court. It's damn near unacceptable for me. I can't watch it. That shit hurts. Bro, I watched Peyton Pritchard play better than Tyler Herro the other night. That shit hurt. Tonight it was Franz Wagner. That shit hurt, bro. Like, dude cannot, bro, you have to be the best white on the court every night. It's, unless it's Luka. Like, that's kind of like the only one. It's unacceptable that anybody else in this league is better than you. Bro, you in year 4. Turn up, dog. Like, become a better playmaker. Like, dial it back. Play off of Bam more. Like, it's just not looking good. It's not looking good. I mean, that brother right there, I mean, he looked like, I don't know who he looked like no more. Like, I'm running out of names. Tyler, I'm expecting more. And I will cut, like, I'm not cutting him so slack. Let me stop lying. I was about to lie like a motherfucker. I am not. But he struggled for like 6 games when he came back from like his 8 or 9 games missed earlier this year or whatever. He had a stretch where he missed. He struggled for like 6 games and then he turned up from 3 at least. Tyler, if you don't turn up from 3 within the next 3 games, boy, listen here. I'm on your ass, boy. You lucky that 55 still on this roster right now. And fuck him too. That man makes so much money. I'm about to ramble. Fuck Duncan Robinson. I feel like Duncan Robinson has not caught enough smoke this year, bro, because he has simply not been on the court. I look at the payroll sheet today when I was playing with the trade machine, and you made way too much money to be trying to buy some big face coffee stock and trying to rebirth your podcast. I know what you're doing, dirty motherfucker.
Beautiful, beautiful. And to your point, Tyler wasn't even the second best white on the court. He was the 4th. It was Franz, Mo, Max Strus, and then Tyler.
Hey, I got to bring it back. Max Strus, I apologize. Walk into that locker room. Walk down to Tyler Herro's locker and stuff his bitch ass in the motherfucking locker and demand part of his game check. I apologize to Max Strus, and he asked too. You know how ass you got to be for me to be apologizing to some ass? Like, that don't even work. Like, man, damn, I forgot about Max being better than. And who was the third?
The other Wagner brother, Mo. I think he was
oh, that's right.
9 points on 3 of 6. Tyler only had 10, and Mo did that in 16 minutes, and Tyler did that in 30 minutes. So
Luke Walton with a chest tattoo.
Oh man, it has been an absolute
boxer.
You need Tyler to be a boxer, or you?
No, he might need to be a boxer because the basketball thing right now ain't working. Get back in the gym.
His hands ain't working either, big dog.
I mean, I seen that boxing training video. It was not pretty either way. So, he might be a 7-Eleven employee soon at this point. We're gonna pivot to positivity. I think that the two big ass players of the night have been off the table. So we'll go to number one in everyone's heart here. Jess, give me your thoughts on the Miami Heat All-Star, All-NBA, All-Defensive Team, Defensive Player of the Year, Bam Adebayo.
I mean, I say this like every stream. He can turn it on whenever he wants, and he's just so solid. We keep reiterating he's the most important person on this team. Oh my God. Okay. Sorry. Anyway, I think he had like 20 tonight. I mean, he's just always just so solid. He's solid on both ends of the court, and we're blessed to have him on our team. He, we can talk. It feels like we're talking into the abyss when we're talking about this all-star stuff, and I'm glad you mentioned it because it's just so sad being Heat fans and watching just the blatant disrespect, because I don't watch any other guys his size play this game and think, oh my God, what a star. So it's biased and it's flawed and whatever. I'll get over that and be salty about it for a little while and move on. But he's just great. I don't think I've complained about him more than like once or twice this season. And he kind of, answered all the questions we were asking last year about confidence, about being able to be super consistent and super solid. I think he's done all of that this year.
Yeah, I mean, Bam really just did a little bit of everything today. He had 26 and 7, a steal and a block. LJ, he had 5 fouls as well. You think ESPN's going to start putting him top 2 in the Defensive Player of the Year rankings like Jaren Jackson Jr., or you think he needs to foul out before they start doing that?
Bam probably needs to commit 700 more fouls and score maybe 2 extra points before he even gets in the same stratosphere as Triple J. I mean, that dude's cooking with some hot grease. To be so the people saying he's defensive. No, I'm not going to get into it. It's going to piss me off. We're staying positive. In that trend of staying positive, I'm a huge winner tonight. My Orlando Robinson agenda is thriving. 11 minutes, 0 points. I was right, by the way. So fuck everyone that was trying to talk down to me that Orlando Robinson's, he's going to replace Dewayne Dedmon and be great. I could go out there and replace Dewayne Dedmon. I'd still be just as good.
Orlando Robinson was a +1. That is probably more games than Dewayne Dedmon has had positive.
No, Dewayne Dedmon's a -93 in the season. Don't think I forgot that number. I'm not a stats guy, but I remember that number. -93, and he ain't seen the court again.
Hey, he has not seen the ball. I think Jess actually tweeted out. He touched the ball for the first time since he threw the massage gun. He
begged this. He was like, and then he held the ball like it was his first time touching a basketball since that incident. So it was really desperate and embarrassing to watch, secondhand embarrassment.
But Bam, back on target for Bam though. What can we say that hasn't already been said? I think he's beaten like the non-aggressive allegations in the good way. Like he's finally looking for a shot. He's doing all this stuff too. I don't want to get back into Tyler Herro, but it's like Bam he was scoring all those points too when he wasn't even getting plays called for him. And now Bam's getting plays called for him, and you're seeing him consistently be able to like have a bag down low. He gives a little shimmy shake down low, then hits a short range jumper. He's giving a little spin move going into the paint, hitting his layups, and just seeing it's a win no matter what now. Like no matter what happens, no matter what plays out for the rest of the season for Bam, it's been a massive win because he is so willing to take that medium range jump shot and cook Brook Lopez's Neanderthal looking ass time and time again. It is so refreshing that he's not afraid of those shots because those are always going to be there. And then once they're not there, it means a player's playing up on him, and he's faster than 95% of people that are going to be guarding him anyway, or taller than them too, that he can just get right to the rim. So seeing Bam's development, I will continue to say, has been the best part of this Miami Heat season, regardless of how it goes. For the future, the longevity of Bam's career too, it has been so refreshing and nice to see him actually find his rhythm on offense night in and night out. And it's not just like a 3 or 4 game stretch. The man's doing it like, what was it? He scored 60 straight games in double digits, like in 61 now. Like, it's incredible what he's doing, and it's been my personal favorite takeaway of this season.
Yeah, and I think everyone on the panel will probably agree that like building around Bam is the definitive move now. Like no questions, no debates. It's done at this point. So we're going to continue on Bam. TJ, Bam actually finished 5th in the player vote, more than Jimmy amongst his peers for the All-Star selection. But because the fan base, and more so maybe the media as well, for not promoting him, and also the Miami Heat as well, he didn't really rank too high on the All-Star the list there. So just give me your thoughts in general about like what Bam needs to do for himself other than play well to push his agenda and put his name out there so he gets recognized for some of these accolades that he is very deserving for.
I don't know. He's just it's a tough spot playing for the Miami Heat and trying to, get to the All-Star game. He gotta talk some shit. He gotta shut some people up. You gotta play the New York Knicks, bro, and you gotta light up Julius Randle. You feel me? Everybody trying to gas up. You gotta play the Kings. You gotta light up Sabonis. You like everybody they trying to gas. He gotta destroy them. He's already done it with Robert Williams. He's done it with Brook Lopez. That's the only thing that Bam can do. That's the only thing within his power to do, is to just show out, especially in these national TV games that we've been having. Like, that's very, very important for him to show up and be everything we want him to be doing those games on defense and on offense, So it's very important. They've been giving Bam a little bit of love recently, a lot more than he's been getting previously, but it's still not enough. You play for the Miami Heat with all these undrafted dudes with culture, because that's all that the national people, that's all they know is culture, Jimmy Butler, and they got a whole lot of undrafted dudes. That's really it. Bam Adebayo is just like, he's good too, but they're not watching Heat games. You feel me? So all he can do is smoke these boys that they trying to gas up, prove that he's better than them, prove that he's the third best big in the NBA right now with AD being out. He's not healthy. And right now it's Jokic, it's Embiid, and it's Bam Adebayo. He just got to keep proving that. That's all he can do.
No, yeah, and I agree. To your point, like the Celtics game was absolutely disgusting. The broadcast read off a grocery list of all of our undrafted players. They were going down, and I'm just like, this is all they know about us. It's just like, the culture and the undrafted shit. And it's just like, we have maybe a generational defensive player on this roster, and they don't recognize that. Like,
maybe. There's no maybe.
Yeah, and no, I mean, I'm with you, Kendall. Like, Bam is that for me. He's always been that. And to develop the offensive game, it's just like, that's the added bonus to push him into superstardom. So it's just like, to see the fan base and the front office and the team not promote him the way he deserves, it's a little bit frustrating. So Kendall, give me just any thoughts you want to give on Bam as a whole.
I mean, I can go pretty far. The Heat can decide whether Bam Adebayo is going to become Drew Holiday or whether Bam Adebayo is going to become Kawhi Leonard. And I say that if you go look at the first 5 years of Kawhi Leonard's career and Bam's, it's very, very, in production, it's very similar across the board. I don't think he can develop into what Kawhi is in terms of like leading the team to a chip just because he's a big, and I just don't really see like his game like getting to that level. But the man can be a solid 2, like on a championship team. But you just gotta build around him. Like nothing on a daily basis like comes easy for him. Like it's all like he's never cut into the basket off somebody else, like unless it's Jimmy or unless it's a fast break, and we don't run because we don't have people who can get out and run. Like the game is always difficult. Like it's always like in this half court setting, and it's just like he's an athlete, bro. Like you can get up and down the court with Bam. And like I saw that a tweet that like the man is shooting 47% from mid range. Like, bro, that is literally like mid-range assassin type numbers. Like it's right there under it. Like a mid-range assassin, I would say 49 up and above. Like if you're hitting half of it, then you know what I'm saying. But to not, they still don't play through him enough. Like they don't. Like there was this stretch where he didn't touch the ball for like 2 minutes on offense, and they were resulting into like threes getting hit. So I was like, all right. But I just feel like if they want to really like raise their ceiling, and they should have been doing this last year and they were. That's why I wasn't really getting at Bam in the playoffs, even though I do need to see him do more. But it's like they never made a concerted effort last year at any point to play through Bam on offense. So I just never thought it was logical enough to say, all right, and now in the playoffs, go average 22. Like, and he still like had a game in which he won by himself in the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, you feel me? So it's like, it's up to the Heat to build around them. Who knows if they will, bro? Like, I don't know. But the man game is nice. And then you say, what can he do? Like, bro, he just got to start talking. Like, and the team, like, Miami Heat, y'all probably won't see this, but even if you do, here's a fucking marketing strategy. You got Tyler Tuesday. What about Adebayo afternoons? Every game after a Heat game, you could post Adebayo afternoons and post his highlights. The same way you did Tyler Tuesdays for every Tuesday.
Hey, they can steal your little shtick that you had. Every good game Bam has, bamboozled.
It's
every
Adebayo
game.
afternoons. Like, it's off the same playbook, but it's just like, bro, like, they thought Tyler was going to be that guy, and he's not. It's Bam. And, like, he's not respected because they don't push him. It's as simple as that. Like, there's been a lack of, like, focus and, like, embracing who was really the guy. Like, and now Bam, the one who's going to pay the price for it. I think he's going to make the All-Star team, though. But I think he's the one who's been paying. That is very funny, relaxing music. I think he'll be the one to pay the price, but I think he's gonna make the All-Star team though.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you at this point. I feel like if he's top 5 in the East for front court players amongst the players, you know, the coaches have to recognize that as well. Exactly. So you know, it would be shocking to me at this point if he got, you know, sat for someone else. But to a little bit of you and TJ's point, the Knicks are 3 games from now. We got Charlotte, we got the Cavs, and then the Knicks. So he can do that again to, you know, how he did with Robert Williams, how he did with Brook Lopez. He can do that again to Julius Randle, lock his ass up and put up 30 on his head. And then, you know, maybe we get more of a propaganda style thing coming our way. I'm going to go one more player, little bit less of a good game, turned it on a little bit in the fourth. I'm going to start with TJ because it's his guy. TJ, Caleb had a really, really strong, like 4 or 5 possessions there when it started to get a little tight. He had that absolutely disgusting layup. Just give me your general thoughts on Caleb's game here.
You know, Caleb Martin, what he was doing when Jimmy was out early in the season, I thought he had turned the corner. You know, I thought he was like, okay, he's reaching Josh Hart and Bruce Brown level role player. He's reaching that territory. And then he came back from injury this most recent time and can't shoot no more, you know, and the first half was ugly. He was allowing a lot of people, they was getting to the rim on him. He was just kind of like looking at dudes go right past him. No energy, was missing a lot of jumpers. I mean, the jumper was short, bad. Like, he still got the little hitch or whatever, but he just couldn't really do much. And then you saw late in the game, man, he started stepping it up. He brought some energy, got that crazy chase down block, and then the Bam got the block right after that. He started to do some stuff, man. And he's a role player, so there's only so much you can do with these guys, man. And they're going to be role players. They're going to be up some games, going to be down some games. It's just it hits a lot different when you're so reliant on these role players to be good. You need Caleb to be good. You need Strus to hit. You need Gabe Vincent to hit. You need Vic to show up. You know, you need these guys to be so much more because of the way the team is constructed. So when you get nights where guys are inconsistent, you know, and they're not showing up, especially like what it looked like in the first half, it's like, well, where are these dudes at? And it's good that you get a stretch from them late in the game. You just want more consistency from them. So shout out to Caleb. I thought he had a good second half, especially like late in the game. He helped them close, helped them get the dub. But also, I wish we could see this for 4 quarters. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you for sure. And, you know, I want to go to Jess here. Jess, Caleb's been having like a rough go of it. You think you think it was the injury that was kind of holding him back a little bit? We all kind of agree that he's just playing out of position still. Do you think he's just trying to find a shot again, or what do you think's going on there?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a mix of all of it because I think we've seen him, be on good stretches before, not just having like one game where he's scoring like 15 points and helping out on both ends of the floor and then he's gone again. We've seen him be consistent for a stretch of games, and so I mean, I think it's a combination of things. I think it's tougher for some guys to come back than others, and like you said, playing in your not natural position is really hard also, and so what I do think is when he gets on the court, like I really, really think he's such a hustler. Like he reminds me a lot of like Gabe Vincent, at least with like the energy that when he gets on the floor, like I really see the momentum kind of shift. And even when he's not scoring, which is why I just think he has a positive impact when he's on the floor. And so, I think that really helped when we were down. I don't know how we didn't end up, going down by a lot, but we were trailing for a while. And I think he helped push definitely in the second half, like we were saying, and that awesome like steal and crazy layup at the end of the court. But I think he just kind of gets us going. And I think he's, one of our halfway decent defensive players, which is a big deal too. So, I hope that he can continue to be consistent because he's been one of those guys that we can rely on a little more than like, unfortunately, I can't say it about like Gabe yet or Depot yet or whatever, but Caleb being a little more of like a vet, we've been able to rely on him a little more. So I hope he can get back in the swing of things.
Yeah, and I feel like if we make a move at the 4, Caleb's going to be really important to be that depth at the 3 behind Jimmy that we're going to need. It will be nice to see him getting back to his original role. Kendall, I know you saw this man double clutch an airball 3 at one point in the game. I think it was in the first half. He shot 41% in October and November from 3, and since then he's been shooting 30% from 3. You think this is a trend, or what are your general thoughts on that? Like, do you think Caleb can be a 3-point shooter, or are we just asking another role player to do too much?
I mean, I don't think asking a role player to hit open threes is too much, but he definitely can't hit. No, he's definitely not a 3-point shooter. Like the amount of threes in which, like, if our role players' looks aren't like really clean, like besides Max, like after he's hit a 1 or 2 that's been wide open, like they will pump and like pass out of shots because they like have like this fear almost that their shit's gonna get blocked. Caleb, dude, like, I mean, I'm not moved by dude. Like, I think if he was like the 3rd person off the bench, I would be like, perfect. You know what I'm saying? I only need you for like 20 minutes a night. But he just got to do too much. You feel me? Like, and I'm not the one who's like, oh, it's his fault. He's playing the wrong position. Fuck it. He out there. Produce. If they believe in you, motherfucker, produce. They paid you. Play like you a G leaguer, but yeah, get paid. You know what I'm saying? The same way I'll kill like Lowry for being a black hole at times at his paycheck. Like that's everybody, bro. Like they're playing a child's game. So I don't have no sympathy for none of them. They have a luxurious life like that a lot of people don't live when they go to their job. So it's like, fuck it. He got to produce, bro. Like, and he was able to get downhill, and it's cool. Like people was so amazed at that reverse layup he hit, and it looked so tough. You know why it looked tough? Because he's wearing a Miami Heat jersey. We're not used to it. Because we too busy watching this stale ass brand of basketball that have no athletes because of roster construction. Like, and when I say athletes, they obviously athletes, but nobody fast, nobody who foot speed is not there. Nobody can beat somebody off a dribble straight line unless they get it off a pass in which they wide open and they can pump and then they can get somebody to fly by and then they can go to the rim because look, they got Highway 85 then opened up. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened with Caleb on 2 of them. And then one of them he cut in and but it's like, bruh, dude is just what he's doing. I don't even know. Like, he's not a 4. I don't think he's playing the 4 anymore because if y'all look around in the NBA, there's nobody big. Like, it's just people who are just 6'7" and 6'8" with long arms. Like, oh, well, like, fight. But they was just dogging us, and Caleb was a part of that.
Yeah, ultimately, I think it's like he's got to put on some weight the way PJ had because PJ could throw that weight around. No, I don't think he can either, but like
He's old,
that was the difference. Like they're both small, but PJ had like 25, 30 pounds on him, so he could, post up. Jess, I know you wanted to jump in here with some comments on 3-point shooting. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, real quick. And talking about that, I mean, he's a lanky guy, and like I said, it's unnatural for him. And we know what a few of our problems are. And like earlier in the season, I was asking this like genuine question on stream of like, how, I know no one wants to hear that shit about, we were one shot away. But, while we were still on that narrative, I'm like, okay, we're one shot away. We lost PJ. We didn't replace him. What the hell else changed, right? And I was really like having trouble understanding, like, how are we this bad when we're that decent? And I think, like you mentioned earlier, like, I don't think we realize what a difference a 3-point shooting makes. And I almost feel like we were kind of like exposed. Like the fact that we went from first in the league to, I think you said like 28th. I mean, the good 3-point shooting was like a bandage because we knew that we had problems, but at least these guys were hitting shots and we were kind of pulling some wins out of our ass, I'm sorry to say. And now it's like the second that we're not able to shoot anymore, that Band-Aid is like ripped off and everything is just like exploited. And I think like all these problems that we keep talking about, like the not having a real 4 and not having a backup for Bam and this and questionable point guard and like all these issues are like coming to light because all of a sudden these guys can't shoot and they have no confidence. They don't even want to shoot. So it's like the percentage is horrible. It's a mental game too. We're shooting really bad. Now they don't want to take shots. We're passing up open shots. And it's just, I think we're kind of getting exposed because you look at this team, nothing changed drastically other than PJ. And some people, want to put more importance on it than others. I think it was a big deal, but I think the 3-point shooting has just been like abysmal. And I think it's been the change from this season, last season to this season, like completely.
Yeah. And ultimately I don't know, if there is a simple solution, but there might be a simple solution right here. The primary sponsor of the basement, Simple Health Advisors. Insurance doesn't need to be complicated, folks. Email them or give them a call today and tell them that the basement sent you. Email our guy, James Pugh, J-P-O-U-G-H at simplehealthadvisors.com, or you can call him at 321-345-7787. Ring him right now, actually. Just wake him up. I'm going to go to LJ because I don't know if he noticed, and this is his thing. We'll go to LJ here on Caleb, and then we'll wrap up. We'll go to the next game. LJ, Caleb led the team in rebounding tonight. I know that's been your thing.
Yeah, no, I for those who want to tune in, little baby plug. Whenever I decided to do the podcast this week, I've talked about rebounding in the past before. Yeah, Rolls let me cook. When we do the podcast, I do harp on the rebounding because the Heat are not a very good rebounding team. Bottom, I think 5 in the league. And then during that recent a week ago, it was a 10-game sample size where they jumped up to the top 10%, or not percent, but the top 10 in the league in doing it. Whatever reason, just kind of clicked. The rebounding is a luck thing too, where sometimes the ball just bounces your way. That's why you just have to be putting yourself in the position to get the rebound. You need to box out. This team doesn't really box out, which is part of the reason why you saw in the Nets game too. The Nets won because whatever his name, Andre Blatch's second removed cousin got the rebound and put it up. And you lose because of that. And that's just the type of shit that you can't have. But another thing too, it's like Tyler does usually do a good job rebounding too. He had 6, but Caleb Martin led the team with 7. That's the only harp that you can have on Bam this game too, was just he wasn't getting out there getting rebounds. But again, that's another part of the system that Spo runs that has Bam running all across the fucking the God's green earth to guard everyone on the perimeter, so he can't be there to get the rebound. But again, you don't have it. Miami is a very, very growth or vertically challenged team, let's say. And another reason for that too is I can't read. Maybe Alex, maybe you can find the stat on this too. I think they're like the worst team in the league when it comes to dunks. I don't think they dunk ever. If it's not Bam or Caleb getting like his once a month nice poster, or I'm not even going to say Jess's favorite player doing the basic two-handed rim graze layup package or dunk package. Haywood Highsmith just going, like that's his dunk. But aside from that, yeah, the team doesn't have athletes, like Kendall was saying too. So it's like you need athletes to get the boards. Board man gets paid. You don't have it, but I don't want to be too negative too, because it's like Caleb did have that stretch in the fourth quarter too, where he played really, really well. And again, like Kendall said too, I don't think he's really playing the 4 anymore, because you see the guys out there, they're not asking him to do that either. What they are asking people to do, which is also really stupid, is asking Gabe Vincent to guard Pablo Banchero in the corner. And then all Pablo has to do is drive down on someone that is a foot shorter than him. because they don't have the bodies to play the defense that Spo wants to play. But Spo's a little stubborn, so he doesn't want to adjust that much on the fly, but that's a whole other issue. Caleb being your top rebounder, it was a win. It was a 5-point win against a honestly really scrappy Orlando team that I think is going to be pretty damn good in probably 1 to 2 years, especially you add another lottery pick to that team. So, it is what it is. You take it. Caleb being your leading rebounder, it's fine. He's your most athletic player minus Bam. You want him getting boards. It is what it is. I think Bam had 6 too. Jimmy had 6. Tyler had 6. Read into that what you want.
Yeah, they kind of just by committee, Shout out to Belinsky Pierre here, 199 dono. I really hope we get a decent 4 at the deadline. I wish we had a decent 4 this offseason. Day late, dollar short at this point. I want to go to TJ. I know he wanted to jump in on something here. TJ, what do you have to add here?
Yeah, this is to Jess's point. We were trying to figure out like what happened with this season, and you just phenomenal, Jess. Way to work. You got 2 years of Duncan Robinson. When it comes to this build with Jimmy Butler, you got 2 years of Duncan Robinson. Where Duncan Robinson was the greatest shooter on planet Earth, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest shooter on planet Earth. Right, so that goes away. And then when you get the 1 seed, you had role players who were shooting above their head. Kyle Guy was coming in, dropping lasers on folks. I mean, the most random shooting season. And then them playoffs came, and the truth came out. When them boys couldn't hit no more, and Backpack Jimbo had to look like the coming of Michael Jordan in order to give this team a chance, right? And then you get to this year, and the shooting is gone, and you people better thank the sweet baby Jesus that Bam Adebayo has turned into him, because if he didn't, this season would be so much worse. The shooting isn't there. Jimmy Butler still isn't shooting threes. He's still attacking the rim. You got a backup big issue. You still got point of attack issues that you never addressed. This has been the case since Goran was here, since Kendrick Nunn was here, who just got shit for Rui Hachimura. I mean, what's going on? These are the same issues. You still found a consistent partner to play next to Bam. You still having issues with Jimmy and Bam being able to play together because they occupy the same spot on the floor. These issues were always there. You just got 2 generational shooting years from Duncan Robinson and then a great shooting year for some role players who are playing above their head. You get rid of all that, and it's a whole lot of stink. And that's what the Heat season is this year. It's a whole lot of stink, but Bam Adebayo has been really good, so it covers up that stink. So you got something else to cover up, and hopefully that can carry into the playoffs.
No, you're absolutely spitting there. The coin flippiness of the 3-point team that we are, it's been an issue, as you said, for a year and a half now. This team has played together for 4 years. The main core has played together for about 4 years. So it's like, these issues have continued this whole time, and they haven't been able to solve them. They haven't been able to address them.
We shoot threes worse than the Los Angeles Lakers, yeah.
Is that true? Is that statistically that's real?
Yes,
they are
true.
33.7 and we're 33.5 or 3 or some shit.
We are only above the Rockets and the Hornets right now.
And we employ Duncan Robinson.
Oh, Lord.
Rockets are the worst team in the league.
Yep.
It's
pretty bad, but
we're 6 games over 500. We're one of the worst shooting teams. We don't have shooters. Our offense is non-existent. They barely break 100 every game. Today was an anomaly getting 110. That's over their season average of 107 or 108. Today was a great offensive game for them, and it was still hot ass. Oh, man. But the fact that Jimmy and Bam were able to really propel them to being 6 games over 500 is really a testament to them as players to be able to do that. And neither of them shoot threes. And they're still able to just put on and just carry the team to being 6 games over 500 and 2 games out of the 4 or 5 seed. Take the wins where you can get them, man, because it's what those 2 guys are doing is incredible because they got no help.
Yeah, and they're going to have to address these issues in the offseason. Going from first in 3-point percentage to 28th above the Rockets and the Hornets. That's it. But speaking of the Hornets, that is our next game Sunday at 1 p.m. right before football. I don't know if we're going to be doing a stream this Sunday at 1 p.m. They start at 1 p.m., so they're going to be finishing around the start of the NFC Championship game. So we'll see if we get enough people to pony up and show up to the stream. It's looking unlikely. Let's go to Kendall here. Kendall, I know you don't give a shit about this fucking game, but is the boy feeling good?
Oh, I was muted. My bad. I mean, the boy, I'm feeling all right. You know, and I ain't tripping on nothing. But you know, when it comes to this weekend, there being a post game,
it's not going. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going. Nah, it ain't going. It's not going.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go down, y'all. I'm just preparing y'all, 126 that are still with us, and we appreciate that, by the way. And we would appreciate if you like the video and subscribe to the Basement Sports Network on YouTube. Follow on Twitter, and follow all of us if you see us on Twitter, especially Royal. He likes to talk basketball in the DMs. He will help you guys understand the game more. But the boy is feeling. We play the Hornets. You said.
Hornets in Hornetland.
Yeah. That's Bam hometown. Close to his hometown, maybe. I know he's from North Carolina. I don't know where the fuck city he's from exactly. But yeah, I'm feeling good about that one. They don't really have anybody who can stop Jimmy. So we should have at least we for sure have, unless they just struggle shooting, what we saw tonight. We can see our stars play like stars. So the boy feeling good. I think that's enough to beat them. I don't know if LaMelo Ball playing. I know he turned his ankle a while ago. And yeah, they just shitty. Unless they just get hot from three, because I'm pretty sure, y'all list the teams. Did you say we were better than the Hornets in shooting threes?
The Hornets are last. We're 28th. The Rockets are in between us.
Okay. That changes everything. This is a guaranteed W. There's a Parrish. I'm not worried about that. But
I don't know.
Wait. So
I've been watching this team all year. I don't know.
But I feel like tonight was their scare. So if they don't get the win, then whew.
Yeah, no, I'm with you a little bit there, but anything could happen with this team. LJ, Hornets are, I think they're the worst in the league, if I'm not mistaken. You think we're going to gut this one out or another dogfight? What's the deal with that?
I hope they do. I'm going to be there. As a Queen City boy, I'm going to be there. I will be.
We got LJ press passes. Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to be courtside. I'll be yelling shit at, if LaMelo plays, I'll be yelling shit at him. I'll be yelling shit at Dewayne Dedmon. Even if he's on the bench, I'll personally walk down and say what's up to Udonis Haslem and ask him to never step foot on the basketball court again. I'll do anything I need to do. I had TJ going. He thought I was going one way.
But you should. I think you need to get in a little homie bag and get your sign and tell me how many miles you flew from.
I'll just lie. I'll put on a European accent and be like, I flew from 5,000 miles away to watch Jimmy play. No, but I think they're going to win. I'll be really disappointed if they don't, because the Hornets are in the Wemby sweepstakes. So I'll give Lowry a massage gun. I will. I have one. I'll bring it for him. He needs more than that, though, man. That ass needs way more than a massage gun. But hold up. No, I think they're going to win, though, because if you don't, it's the first game of a 4-game road trip for Miami. So if you start off with a loss to the Charlotte Hornets, who are trying to pick first overall, that ain't good. That's not what you want. So, but yeah, they don't have anybody that can guard Jimmy, nor Bam. Bam's going to put Plumlee in a blender, but then whatever Plumlee first name brother is going to box score bounce on Tyler Herro, because he'll probably be the best white player also.
There's a lot of white players on the Hornets, so we're gonna hold on that one. We'll see what happens. Jess, the girl feeling good about the Hornets?
I feel pretty good. That game, I just hope that we win that game, because that's one of those. They might have a better or worse record than the Magic do. I don't know, but the Magic just seem like a team with a lot more potential than them. The Hornets are just a really weird team, and they'll have these random Terry Rozier nights or LaMelo, but it's they just look disjointed. They don't play that well together. I don't like watching them play. I really hope that we don't lose to them, but I feel pretty good about it. I think we've played pretty decent in these day games for some reason. I don't know if that's part of it, but I've kind of observed that this year with the couple that we've had. So yeah, I really hope that we get this done, because I think it would say a lot if we don't. So
yeah, what you're saying is an Adebayo afternoon is on the horizon.
There you go.
Maybe. TJ, talk to me. How many points does Terry Rozier have on Tyler Herro's head right this second?
According to my calculations, he currently has 37 points on Tyler Herro's head. But it's going to come in the losing effort. The Charlotte Hornets play the worst brand of basketball that I have ever seen. And that's saying something because the Houston Rockets are our organization in the NBA. So this is going to be a blowout. There's no way the Heat are losing this game. And because I've said this, because I've openly said this on this, medium or whatever, the Heat are going to lose by 15. But in my own faith, I believe that the Heat are going to win. There's no way they lose to this team. I think Bam's going to go off. I don't even think Jimmy plays, to be honest with you. That team is beneath him. He's got knee soreness right now. He's already on the injury report. So, but yeah, they're going to beat them boys. So I ain't tripping.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I mean, it's the Charlotte Hornets, and you all know what's going to happen to the Charlotte Hornets. But to blow that shit out. Shout out to Royal for that one. But yeah, I mean, I cannot see us losing to the Charlotte Hornets. They are absolutely trash. They are, third worst team in the league for a reason. They are in Wembyland. We were in Wembyland. I think some of us still wish and fantasize about being in Wembyland, but we are not there anymore. But we are going to wrap up the show on that note. I want to shout out to everyone that joined us today on the stream. Thank you for all the comments, the likes, the donations. We appreciate you. Shout out to LJ for joining us. Hope you had a good time. Appreciate your thoughts and analysis on Orlando Robinson. Shout out to the girl Jess for not getting into her Haywood Highsmith bag. We appreciate that tremendously. And shout out to the two Kangs up top, Kendall and TJ, for giving us a lot of analysis and packing of various white players on this roster. Appreciate you guys as always. Play the video, Justin or Royal, whoever the fuck's in the back there.
Oh yeah, we packing somebody up tonight. Hey. Come on in, take your shoes off before we close the door. Few rules, heat pack in the air, we about to blow. This the basement, ain't nobody safe, you already know. Grab a seat and kick your feet before you get too comfortable. You want the X's and the O's, the trade, yes and no. Friends and the foes, the butlers and the heroes. You can feel it in your soul, when the ring is the goal. But if somebody need to go, we be sure to let you know. Going hard for my dogs is an everyday thing. Like Jimmy down the lane of 13 off the screen. Whole squad keep it tucked like number 17. Bring your takes and your memes, going hard for the team. Going down in the basement.